Hey guys, Jeremy here with the Armory Life. I am a lifelong student of firearms history, knowledge, and training. So anytime there's a moment that I can take a class, I jump on that opportunity. My most recent class was with Rob Orgel at ER Tactical doing a Pistol 3 class. Another thing I love about formal classes is testing firearms. So I decided to run my XDM Elite OSP in this class and put it through the paces. So Rob at ER Tactical is a former Marine and later combat instructor for the military. One thing that I really value about Rob at ER Tactical is that everything that he teaches is based on experience and testing and proving theories. He doesn't just adopt a theory, a method, or training cycle, or a regimen until he has proven that that is, in his opinion, the best way to do it. He trains 6 days a week and literally lives by the methods that he teaches. When Rob speaks, people listen. Starting off the day, we started with the basics of safety, proper draw, and loading technique. And this is really great refresher because it allows us to identify any bad habits that we might have formed outside of the class. So after a little bit of a warm-up, we went into firing from the draw in position 3 as you get to position 4 to push out. Now it's pretty amazing once you have a proper draw and the placement of the pistol, how accurate you can place those first shots before you even acquire a full sight picture. Now it's great to have the confidence, once properly trained, to know the exact moment, the earliest moment that you could fire from a draw. Now we then moved into hammer pairs, failure drills, and the NSR drill. Now we've all been taught time and time again, aim center mass, aim center mass. Now Rob likes to teach to aim high center. Now this is where most of the vital organs are, and let's face it, if we're missing, it's oftentimes low left or low right. So if you're aiming high center, even if you pull those shots a little low left or low right, they're still gonna be very successful shots. Just as I felt I was kicking ass, we went into single hand shooting, right-handed and left-handed shooting. I'm cross-eye dominant, so it's a little bit harder for me to pick up those sights. Luckily though, I was running the Vortex Venom red dot, which made that task a lot easier to place those shots on target accurately. I made a mental note to continue my practice in single hand shooting, to bring that skill up to par. After we were all feeling pretty good with single hand shooting, we introduced a movement, forward movement and backwards movement. One thing that was very interesting about movement drills was that I was so focused on keeping my gliding smooth that my brain wasn't thinking about jerking the trigger or anything like that, and I was actually a lot more accurate than I expected to be. After moving forwards and backwards, we introduced moving to the right and to the left. Now moving to the right and turning your body, a lot easier. Moving to the left and doing kind of a side step was a little harder for me, so I made a mental note into putting some time into practicing that as well. We then moved into single-hand reloads using your holster to retain the weapon, then grabbing an extra magazine, inserting it, and getting the gun back up as quickly as possible. We also worked on one-handed malfunction clearing, using your thigh to tap the magazine, using a belt or a holster to rack the slide, and then getting back on target. Now these are really great drills, and it's something we don't practice much, but could very well be something that might save your life. Coming to a close, we worked on firing from supine. Now that's essentially firing from laying on your back. This actually turned out to be a lot easier than I expected because you have a very stable platform from lying down, and your chest to support your arms while aiming to give you a nice steady sight picture. One cool thing about this drill that it teaches no matter what, you are not out of the fight. Even if you get knocked down, even if you're on the ground, you can still fight from that position. As a final exercise of the day, we introduced all those things into one course. We ran about 50 yards and then we began the course moving left, forwards, right, backwards, and then left again. It was really interesting to see once your adrenaline is going, once your heart rate is up, the things that you have retained and the things you really need to work on definitely show up in these final training exercises, while also identifying some techniques that I really need to train at home with some dry fire. Taking formal classes really inspires me to become a better shooter and always reignites that passion for firearms and why I love them. There's just something beautiful about becoming more proficient with your firearm and letting it do what it does best. I like to think that every day I train and every class I take makes me more and more worthy to wield that firearm. To learn more about Rob Orgel and ER Tactical, check out ertactical.com.